All right, and we are live. You're listening to Interchain FM, a podcast about all things blockchain interop, DeFi, and NFTs. In this particular series, we are bringing up all of the blue chip Cosmos NFT projects to give you a live demo and a rundown of the project that you have seen around the interwebs. So, today we're here with Sin, and she is one of the artists of Stargaze Punks, and we have a surprise guest. His name is Motivating Gene, and Gene
What up? What up?
What up? So Gene is gonna be one of my co-hosts to Interchain FM going forward. So you could look forward to seeing more of him. So Sin, let's do it. Sin's got a punk gearing up that she could demo, but if listeners in the audience want to make a request and ask her to draw a punk in real time, you could do so in the live chat. So Sin, take it away. Which punk are you gonna draw?
Well, just as we were starting, I got a request directly from our Discord. So it is Stargaze Citizen 8828. And I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Did I say shared? Share.
Sin with the awesome hair. My goodness.
Hey.
Thank you.
You look like you're such an artist.
Yeah, how could you tell? I live in Los Angeles, and it's like a rite of passage. Every artist here has to, at some point, dye their hair an unusual color. So,
yep.
So first of all, I drew this as a giveaway to one of our Discord members weeks ago. And so basically, all of our Stargaze Punks are pixel style, for those who may have not seen it. And I reimagined those pixel collections into custom drawn avatars like you'll see here. And so I've started with a template, and I'm going to draw one of those basically from scratch right here in front of you. So let me go ahead and share with you our lucky Stargaze Punk that's going to be drawn today. And this is the guy. This is the guy.
That's the guy.
Yeah, he's very cool. Very cool. I love the ears. I love all the details. And fun fact, I did all of the artwork for Stargaze Punks. So all of the assets for all 8,888, I crafted all those little pixels. They were very fun to do. So here we are.
Are you the main artist, or are there multiple?
So Stargaze Punks is under the Andromeda Labs umbrella. And so we've created a few different collections already. And Stargaze Punks, I was the only artist on that project. But for Andromeda, we're working on a lot of different things, and we're working with different artists. But for Stargaze Punks, I was the only one.
Got it.
Yeah, that was our Genesis project.
Like, you want to make it look good, and it's your baby project.
I do feel very attached to it. It was also the very first time I ever did pixel art. I've always done hand-drawn stuff, so it was it's definitely outside my wheelhouse, but it was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun creating all of the little details of the characters.
Yeah.
So for this guy, I'm gonna
Cosmos Trex says that's my punk.
Oh yeah, the other one that I showed. This guy? Yeah, this is his.
Oh,
that one's cool. Cosmos Trex got a cool one. Oh, we got an antenna. Nope, the ears. Look at that.
So yeah, basically I'm just looking at all the little details of the pixel and just redrawing the attributes as like a, I guess you could call it more illustrative style.
Where do you come up with the attributes?
Some of them I just came up with on the fly. I've done a lot of character design stuff in the animation industry, as well as background design. And so basically when working with the team and coming up with ideas for the attributes, we basically just wanted to stick with the space theme and make things that might like pay tribute to Cosmos, the different sorry, I'm blanking. The cryptocurrencies under Cosmos, like Stargaze and Juno, and so we wanted to pay tribute to that and to the basically the because Stargaze Punks was also part of the launch of Stargaze, the NFT marketplace, and so and it was a really exciting time because there wasn't an NFT. To my understanding, there was not an NFT market space for
Right.
a Cosmos change. So that was a really big deal.
That's cool. That's cool. So because I think Stargaze did a thing of you had to, so they did the airdrop and you had to buy at a certain point, you had to buy NFT from the marketplace to receive a percentage of the airdrop. I think it was like 4 steps, and buying one would like unlock the remaining 25%. So you guys were there as one of the first ones, you're saying then?
We were part of the Genesis launch of the marketplace. So there was quite a few projects, including Bad Kids and a lot of really great collections that were part of that initial launch.
Yeah.
But it was the soft launch. At that point, you were not able to trade NFTs. You could just like buy them, hold them. But now Stargaze has come such a long way in these last few months. So now it's pretty much a fully functioning marketplace where anybody can mint a collection, buy, sell, trade, burn, all that fun stuff.
I was gonna say kudos to Stargaze for allowing just artists to sell their art within a launch of a marketplace, right? So because you said you couldn't sell or trade, so people could only buy them, and that's how Stargaze initially launched. And add to that the airdrop that they gave. So in a way, they were supporting users themselves and then artists. So that's a good move, Stargaze.
For real. Coming from working off of Ethereum marketplaces, like I've been just constantly blown away at how amazing the Cosmos community has been and the people behind the Stargaze marketplace. They have my support for life.
Hey,
what's the difference in artist experience with working with Ethereum versus in Cosmos?
Oh, that's a great question. For starters, the gas prices, let me tell you.
Right.
I'll never forget when I minted my very first art piece, and this was back in early 2021. I hardly understood what an NFT was. I was still just wrapping my head around it. And when I went to mint my first art piece. I think at the time the mint cost was going to be like $90, which was unreal to me. Somebody being new to the space, I was like, "What? I upload stuff for free all the time on Instagram. Like, what? I don't get it." And so that was something that took some getting used to. I mean, I don't know anybody that really likes paying those gas fees. But what was incredible going to Stargaze, the gas fees are just so, they're like negligent, like nothing. And it's just incredible. It really feels super user friendly. Like there's not that barrier to entry like there is for Ethereum. Like,
right.
Like anybody could jump in, which I really like that inclusivity. So that's pretty cool.
I have a bunch of ETH maxi friends that they love to pay that fee sometimes, and I'm like, guys, they complain so much about it, and I'm like, you can just come through over here, just saying. But yeah, I'm glad that you're a testament of that. And then it's also, I don't know, I think Ethereum is just harder to connect with as far as coming from like a creator standpoint, right? Because Cosmos, I don't know, Cosmos is like doors open, anyone, welcome. And then they're super smart, right? They got like genius devs and they're just cool. It's like they have fun with their blockchain, I'm not sure. I'm just saying.
You know, I think everyone, there is a type of network and a marketplace out there for everybody. And I think some people genuinely love certain types of marketplaces that runs on Ethereum or other coins, and that's cool. But yeah, Cosmos is super fun. Like there's just a fun element that I think a lot of people wanted the spirit of participating in the NFT space to maintain. And it's been consistent. Like I've just consistently seen that theme over and over again, that people here are just having a really good time. They're here for the long haul, and they just want to see they just want to see Cosmos do well, Stargaze, and I'm really excited to see where we go in the future, in the short term, in the long term, and the kinds of projects and initiatives that come from having a space that just basically just takes all the hard stuff out of the way and just is like, boom, here we have a wide open space, low bar of entry, come in, show us what you got. And that's really cool.
I do like to give credit where credit is due. Obviously at Cosmos, we have really improved upon the idea of NFTs. But still, NFTs became a thing, and it was sort of invented on Ethereum. That's probably why many of the Ethereum NFT projects have become blue chip, and they've attained that status because they're just sort of the OGs in the space. And then I remember meeting Devin, the founder of OpenSea. This was in DevCon 4, I believe. This was in Prague, Czech Republic. And he had built OpenSea then already. And fun fact, OpenSea is built off of this protocol, the smart contract protocol called Wyvern, which is originally built by my ex co-host, Christopher Goes. Christopher Goes is the IBC engineer, the original, like one of the earliest IBC core developers. So that's a fun fact.
Wow. Cool.
Wow. Dang.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, it is really good that Ethereum is kind of this home of research and experimentation originally, and then people in the Cosmos ecosystem are sort of able to improve upon and take those ideas and offer different functionality that Ethereum layer 1 doesn't necessarily offer.
Absolutely. And yeah, and also not at all trying to knock Ethereum, because that got me my own start in the space, and I'm very grateful for my experiences on that network, or just like working off of Ethereum based marketplaces.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good jumping off point, and I'm happy to be here now.
Yeah, absolutely. So at what point does this kind of smooth guy turn pixelated?
The smooth guy. I like that name.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, sorry. I guess I just assumed that, you had some like pixelation effect to turn a smooth guy into a pixel.
Oh, so I'm working backwards because the entire pixel collection already exists. And so I'm illustrating based off of the original pixel art, because all the pixel. Oh, did you want me to make something pixel?
Well, I have no idea.
I'd be interested to see how you can make that right there pixel. But another question: what are you using to draw? Is it a pen or your mouse?
Oh,
no way, that's a mouse.
Can you imagine?
So yeah, back in the day, I remember when I first started learning, like 2008, I was learning how to do digital art, and I only had a mouse. It was rough. So I am using, I can't move my camera, but I have a Wacom pen tablet here. And so this is like my digital utensil, and I use it to draw everything. But Oh, what?
No, I was gonna say I'm laughing because I'm actually thinking I don't draw. Okay, so don't I'm actually thinking over here that the mouse could be a possibility in 2022. That's where I'm at right now.
Well, I will say with the making all of the Stargaze Punks assets, it really didn't even need a pen because I had a pixel canvas and I like dropped the blocks in. I could demo that if you want me to. I'm pretty much done with this guy.
We have to bring you on for a separate show just to demo that, because we've got 4 other NFT projects coming up.
One last question though,
this is cool,
on the pixelated item, how long does it take for you to make a pixel one? I guess after you have like all the assets kind of in place without.
Well, the way that it worked, it was a generated project. So I built all the assets. It took me, it took anywhere between a couple of minutes to like make a hairstyle or a piece of clothing or eye detail to maybe a half hour to an hour for maybe like a detailed background. But my process in making the collection was that I would make like 20 backgrounds. I would make 30 hairstyle. I'm throwing out arbitrary numbers. I can't remember exactly like the grand total, but I would make like a batch of hairstyles, clothing pieces, accessories, and etc. And then once all those little pieces were assembled, I never actually got to see the full final characters until the team. I don't understand like the generative process. Basically, they went like boop 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 boop,
right,
and then generated 8,888 unique pixel art creations characters based like using the assets that I created. And it was so cool. I never worked that way as an artist ever, like just working on all these little pieces and then somebody else coming in and bringing it all to life just instantaneously, making 8,888. Like it blew my mind.
To the next level.
Yeah. So if I had to hand assemble every single one of those punks, I'd still be working on it. We'll put it like that. It would take time.
For another couple of years too.
Yeah.
It's your own Sin sweatshop, just like churning out punks. Yeah.
Frantically.
Yeah.
How long do we have Sin in the show for? I got more questions.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is a good place to stop, just because we have like 4 others. If anyone in the audience has more requests for her to do live demos later, we could definitely bring her back on for a separate show. So yeah, this is very awesome, Sin. Thank you so much for doing a live demo for us.
Thank you. And I will be sending this to the owner of Punk 8,828.
You can send it to my address. You can send it to my address. I won't say anything.
Yeah.
I can make one for you later.
Hey.
Wow, this is an NFT. It's gotten memorialized on this live as well.
Lucky.
So you guys know it. There's an incentive to request these things live.
An incentive.
Yeah, incentive. Thank you very much, Sin with the hair. We'll bring you back on if anyone wants a live drawing of their punk in the future. Please ask.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. All right, and next we've got Cortland from Bad Kids on. Welcome,
Hello.
Cortland.
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I like your name. I almost thought that Chango said Portland. That's where we're from.
Okay, no, sorry. Close, but not quite.
Cool name.
So tell us about Bad Kids.
So Bad Kids was an NFT project that I started with a friend of mine that I met in art school back in, I think, October of last year. And when we started, we didn't really have a plan about where it was launching or anything. We kind of liked the idea of, it's almost like a joke about NFTs. Like people would say like, NFTs, like the art looks like it was made by children. And I'm like, okay, I like that. Like, let's see where I can go with that.
I can do that.
Yeah. So so yeah, so it started and it kind of seemed like a simple idea at first, and it kept getting bigger and bigger. So even though it's like this, even though it looks like bad art by children, it's actually like the way it's put together is kind of complicated.
Oh,
How is it?
shoot. Honestly, I thought it was like a kid who drew these.
Okay, well that's good. Okay, well then I guess I did a good job. Yeah.
Actually, what was told down the grapevine is that it was drawn by one of your kids. So that was the impression that a lot of people have. At least
Okay, cool.
one.
Let's keep the rumors going. I like it.
Yes.
Like a list of all the rumors that people are like making up and save them.
I forced a kid to draw 10,000 drawings for me.
Yeah,
and,
you guys have a sweatshop of children just drawing art for you too.
yeah.
Oops.
But yeah, why don't I'll share my screen.
I have a bad kids, by the way.
Excellent.
It looks kind of like me. That's why I got it. It's got big eyes.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, so for anyone that hasn't seen Bad Kids, I just grabbed a bunch of random and yeah. Go ahead. Did you have
No, it's just the guy in the middle. He's just like,
yeah,
flipping us off, flipping every viewer off.
Those are kids for you.
No, that's a bad kid.
Yeah, they're unpredictable.
He's gonna get detention.
But yeah, I mean, I think I kind of went into this project kind of like my background. Like I went to art school. My background is like as a designer and an artist, and I was a little frustrated by how I was seeing so much derivative stuff in NFTs. Like I kind of wanted to try something that felt original, and felt like different. And also I kind of wanted each one to like I dropped some of my inspiration in here. Like actual kids' drawings are so like chaotic, and like this stuff was great to like look at. But it's like if I wanted to like replicate that, I felt like I couldn't just have it kind of rigidly the same shape for every single character. So I kind of figured out how to have all these different body types. So like some of them a lot of them like kind of use the same shape, but there's like a huge variety in here. And even just within those different types themselves, like there's like a lot of weird stuff that can come up, like this bird that's like wearing a top hat. I think there might only be 2 of those in the entire collection.
Okay, so are those the legendary ones?
I guess those would be legendary. Yeah, it's sort of like stuff, or like the robot on fire. Like I love this. I think there's only 3 robots on fire in the collection. Wow. Just kind of taking some of the weirder things that a kid might draw and making those sort of the rare parts. But yeah,
what creative mind you have there, Cortland. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, thank you.
It is just different, and we love difference. So this project made its waves to like the network where I was working in, and even like influencers were talking about it. So this is back then, and now full speed ahead to hear the background of the art, of your mind, and really what was going on when you launched this. It's amazing, and it's so unique, and it's so incredible. I'm actually so happy right now that I have one.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and it's it's an NFT with like there's no roadmap, there's no utility. The art itself is bad. But it's like I think because of that, it's actually attracted a really cool community. Like the people that hang out in the Discord, like there's always people new people that'll show up and be like, hey, I just discovered this. Like, what's the utility of this? And they're always like joking around like, oh, well, the megaverse is coming and then we'll be able to do anything we want. Or, we're going to be airdropped backpacks and we can have whatever's inside of them. It's like, they've kind of like taken over the creativity a little bit, which I love to see. And I thought,
is any of that happening?
Oh, there's stuff happening. It's just I'm keeping it a secret until it happens.
No. Hey, this is the place where you can share those secrets.
Sorry, I just can't. I mean, to me personally, like I get that people want to know like where a project is going and like what's coming and stuff. And for me, I'd rather, kind of sort of have some surprises at some point and have people be like into that, as opposed to like promise something that might not like live up to expectations, and then when that comes along, it's disappointing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think
Directionally, though, where's this going?
I mean, I'll say directionally, like I want to keep working on projects that kind of embrace originality in this way and that kind of bring sort of new ideas to this. So like very art focused, very weird. And yeah, I mean, I'm loving Stargaze. And I actually thought while I'm on here, if we have time, it might be fun to show like some of the earlier iterations of this, like as it was coming along.
Oh yeah, they rejected cartoons.
Yeah, basically, like I kind of like this is sort of like the evolution of Bad Kids. Like these are like a few of the shots from like the very, very first render. This was like back in October of last year.
Wow.
And it was, it was like you can still see like some of these like basic shapes like made it into the final thing. But this was sort of just a test. Like I'm not a coder, so this was actually made in like After Effects. I was just like dropping in a bunch of layers and remixing them. And yeah, and like from there, like this was like the next version. And you can see it's like, stuff like the skin colors against the background aren't always working. And here's like a ghost character that didn't make it to the final cut. And, there's like a mustache at one point. It was like just trying a lot of different things, generating it, seeing what worked. Here's like, this is November. Again, it's like, these are sort of mostly like the rejects. So it's like, this is like a lot of stuff that you see in the final collection did kind of make it in, but stuff like Scumbag Steve, like it was funny, but it's like, okay, that's like kind of its own meme. Like it doesn't really feel like part of the collection to me.
I would have loved to have that.
Sorry, Sango.
Please, is there a way, honestly, for you to release that, or maybe ask the community as well? Would you guys like for us to release this? I would get a few. Chengo would probably get like 90% of them. No, just kidding. You gotta leave some for the rest, Chengo. But it's super cool, and I think you should definitely launch this.
I mean, I'm listening to the community, so but for me, it's always about like kind of making these decisions and then moving forward.
I'm curious to hear about the generative process. Is that done?
It was, well, I used a tool called Hashlips, actually like a branch of that by NFT Chef. Anyone can download that. It's a JavaScript library, which there's like some good YouTube guides to it, but it took some learning. I'm not a coder, but I was able to figure it out, and that means most people can. It has a lot of options, and it sort of had like a lot of flexibility. And so, yeah, I was like, what was nice about that is at a certain point, I could kind of just keep dumping in assets, generate the collection again, and kind of see what worked and what didn't. Like I think this is like one of the final iterations before it was finished. You can see like, it's pretty close. Like there's stuff like, like blonde hair on like a yellow background like that, it doesn't really stand out very well. So like I had to kind of put in a rule to say, don't use these two things together. Or even stuff like, the green on like a magenta background, when it bleeds through, it just kind of looks ugly. So I made sure that combo didn't happen. So it's just a lot of like kind of small tweaks that maybe no one would have noticed happened along the way to kind of get it to a point where it was like, where I felt good about it, which is crazy, right? Because it's meant to look like bad children's art. But I was still, I think the designer side of me was still like, no, you can't put green on magenta like that. That doesn't work.
Man, I must really have bad taste because I thought that looked great.
Hopefully we can get them here soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's if the audience has questions or if there's anything else you want me to talk about with Bad Kids.
So Don Kryptonium has a question. He says, I wonder how have you done two different crow types? It's really difficult to do it in a generative art to drop different accessory under the same category.
Well, basically the way it worked is, so you can see there's like a ton of different like body shapes, and that would kind of dictate the accessories and stuff like that. So some of the different bodies have the same accessory, or it's the same in the metadata, but it was kind of different drawings. So, you know, like there's trying to think of an example. Did you say crow? Was there a crow in
Sorry,
Bad
he
Kids?
said crown types.
Oh, crown.
Sorry,
Okay, yes.
how
yes,
have
yes.
you done 2 different crown types?
Yeah. So it's just you know, different characters had a crown that was like kind of tailored to their body shape, you know, because the heads aren't always at like the same level. But so in the metadata, it's saying it's the same thing, but it actually is a slightly different drawing.
Sorry, what is a crown? Is that face shape or head shape?
Like a literal crown on top of the head. I don't think I have a picture of one in here, but yeah, there's definitely crowns. I promise.
Okay, so little princes and princesses.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
Okay.
like burger heads. Are those rare?
Oh yeah, the burgers are rare.
Right. So let's talk
See,
about your community.
Some burgers have cheese, some don't.
That would have been good. They actually all have cheese, unfortunately.
Yeah. What? So, you know, from what I've heard, Bad Kids have garnered a cult following. I think you've got the most culty following out of anyone here. So, is this out of the attractiveness of how original this art is?
I think that's part of it, and I think also it's just it's kind of broad enough that people could kind of, you know, find themselves in it if they want to, and kind of like write their own meaning into it, which I like. Like I like things that are like open ended like that, and I think because I kind of presented this as like an art thing, and I wasn't like making any promises. I think that does set the tone a little bit, you know, and it's not. I think sometimes people are a little nervous about that because it feels like you know, like a cash grab or something. And it's like, no, I'm here. I'm hanging out in the Discord. You can come talk to me. I'm still doing stuff. And you know, if people are uncomfortable with that, like I totally get, like, you know, not buying in or whatever. Like, but I think it becomes like a very self-selecting audience of people that, you know, are like, yeah, oh, it's just an art project, and it's weird and I like it. Like I think that attracts a certain kind of person.
Mm-hmm. So to you, is it an art project?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Or, you know, or to what extent is it an experiment, like a social one?
I mean, I think it's more art project than experiment, but I think there's definitely like some qualities about it that are like a little bit more on the social experiment side. Like there's all the Bad Kids have stats, like numeric stats, like their brains and muscles and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would love for you to, I mean, of course, continue to stick around, you know, and evolve. So I think NFTs here soon, and right now they're evolving, right? And so it's gonna grow with blockchain, and I don't know. I think there is way more utility to be discovered as, you know, time passes. So there's so much room for experimentation, and then continuous opportunities there for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like to me, it's just I'm excited to continue to like experiment and find kind of new ways of like getting art onto Stargaze.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for showing us the Bad Kids art.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to bring on AnonsNFT after you. So yeah, thank you, Cortland, for your time.
Cool. Thank you. See ya.
Bye. Hello,
Hello.
Anons.
Keeping it 100 with the Anon picture. I say Anon because I have shitty pronunciation. But yeah, just happy to be here. That was really cool. The last 2 people that came up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're Anon right now too. Just for the people who are looking for this, what's the secret password?
So we're gonna give out whitelist spots. So if you DM at AnonsNFT 580 and your secret address, we
DM
will
people.
add you to the whitelist.
Mm-hmm. No, not DM Anons, right? You have to actually go through the Twitter sweepstakes.
Oh yes.
Oh.
But the code is 580.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're
580.
580. It's those. The first collection of Anons was 580 size. and that is a secret network meme number. So it's
Is it?
essentially, yeah, that's where it came from. It's essentially like if you took all the supply and multiplied by 580, it would put us in like the top 10 or something. So it's like, oh yeah, we'll get to 580. So that's basically the origin of that. And yeah, I don't know. It's really exciting. Really exciting to be on Secret Network. I think we were the first project to launch there. And I think we were the second project to launch in all of the Cosmos after Galactic Punk. So that was back in October of last year. So we're one of the more older collections, and the community, like, you know, I heard a lot of people explaining the art, so I'll explain, you know, where this came from. It's like Secret Network is obviously a privacy network. So, you know, the term Anon is very used within crypto Twitter and on the internet. You know, we felt like it was perfect for the first private by default NFT collection to name ourselves after that. And so on top of that, it's like, you'll notice like the characters don't have eyes. My character has a mouth because he has something to interact with it. But like for the most part, characters don't have mouth, nose, and eyes, because like if you were going through an airport and they were doing facial recognition on you, they would essentially be looking at those data points to figure out who you were. So we felt like by taking out the facial recognition points, it's essentially driving home the idea of being anonymous. So it's like, that's one thing. And then it's like, we have an ethos that kind of goes behind the project, which is essentially like, you know, like who you are is irrelevant, like what you look like. It's like all about the ideas that you bring to the table.
Right.
And so our main utility, even though I kind of feel like utility is like dirty in some ways, like I really respected like Cortland's approach to community. It's like, to me, community is utility, but our main utility is essentially about how do we drive home the connection within the community. So each of these serves as a basically an access control to a private Telegram chat room. So we all can hang out together, and it is kind of like a social club or a cult of some sort. And yeah, I'd love to show some new art too, if you don't mind. I can share my screen. I don't know. Let me see if this works. I don't know if you can see, but
your screen was on, and now it's off. As in, like, yeah, your shared screen. There you go. We can see it now.
Okay. Well, this is essentially the art. So that's, you know, similar to what Cortland was kind of saying. Like, we try to keep our traits like pretty original. Like, you know, like you're not gonna see this hat in other collections. Like one of our themes is like bananas, which may not be super original, but it's like we just try to keep it like kind of feeling like our own thing when we create it. So it wasn't like, yeah, let's go look at what traits CryptoPunk has, even though I guess we do have bubblegum, but you know, we just try to keep it funky, like give it some vibes and just make it fun. And like, so all of this art is like 4K. So like, you know, if we zoom in, like you can see like there's like crinkles on this guy's neck to show like, you know, like this is very it's very detailed, like, you know, like you can see like up even in like in the backgrounds. So like this could be printed you know, 4 by 4 feet or something and still look high quality in your house. So like that's kind of like the hope. This is our rarest trait that we're coming out with in the new collection, bag on head, you know, and it just kind of got a good vibe. So yeah, we're really excited. and I probably just rambled for 5 minutes. So I'll let you guys jump in.
Yeah. Okay. So, what was your origin story? How did you guys enter the Cosmos ecosystem through secret at such an early stage when NFTs weren't really a thing, and kind of trailblazing that path?
So I was a member of Secret Network, kind of like a little bit post their fork into the Cosmos. Like the privacy narrative really resonates with me. So, yeah, I mean, I wish I had a cooler story, but like I basically, just felt like, hey, where's all the stuff? It's like someone needs to make an NFT collection. And I just decided, hey, I guess I'm that guy. I put together a group of people. I came up with some ideas and marketed it and built a community. I would consider myself more like a creative director, like, the traits that you see, like this hat or, the bag on the head. It's like, I don't draw this. I'm not the artist. I do some art. Like I created like the patterns, like some of the Photoshop work. But more I like help set the creative vision. But yeah, it's like a team of people that just wanted to create something fun. So
people are saying Anon with the trash head is amazing.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorites. There's like, you can see there is some inspiration in here from other things. Like, I don't know, this is kind of like Daft Punky. Yeah. This is kind of Biggie-esque, but like,
okay.
You know what you're missing?
What?
Assuming it's not trademarked, you're missing the dead mouse head.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know that I know who it is. I don't know it off the top of my head, but yeah, it's like he's the other DJ. That'd be cool.
Right. As long as you're making headpieces, the mouse head would be really cool.
Yeah, we're kind of like on to like we're kind of done with the art a little bit, but like, just like this jacket, it's supposed to be like, a distressed jean jacket. You can see like the hoodie is like coming through it. It was just kind of like, or even like the background is like rust. Like if you go through the images, like the backgrounds are like rust, plaster, wood. It's like, there's a museum that is popular in Massachusetts, and it's a modern art museum built in a rundown mill. So it's got this like super like cool modern art mixed with like rusted walls, and people are in there like dressed up because you're at like a world-class museum. And it's like, I wanted with this collection, it was like, how do I capture that? Like, like this guy's got a distressed jean jacket in front of a rusted wall, but it feels elegant. Like, right? Like the colors, like, so that's really like where my focus comes from, on like what goes into creating a collection that has meaning, and that's what I like to do. So
there's an element of street fashion here too. All of them are very well dressed.
Yeah,
I noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the fun of it. Like, I think
can we zoom into that necklace real quick to see what there is in there?
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
It's our logo.
Let me ask you this, Ranger. For this giveaway for your upcoming mint on the last week of July, is it a whitelist for this new collection, or is it for the old ones?
Yeah, for these new ones.
For these new ones, so like more of the 3D art.
Yep. And the goal of the new collection is essentially like, we have 580 NFTs, which goes to like 300 something members, but you can't be like relevant when you aren't reaching critical scale. Like, you know, Bad Kids has 10,000 or whatever it is, you know, Stargaze Punks and Galactic Punks. So like we were like, how do we expand the community in a way that's like interesting, that doesn't detract from the original collection, like, but you can still see like some common themes, like, you know, like the bananas on this shirt, you know, match the bananas on mine in my avatar. So it's like, it's really supposed to create something unique that gives people a different price point to enter the community, while also, you know, building on the vibes and the art. So
Yeah.
What do they get from this new collection that isn't available in the original?
well, they get the art. They get access to a chat room as well, like the same way that the first chat, like, so that way we can have everyone be together. You know, it's not a utility focused collection, so there's no game, there's no royalty paybacks or anything like validator money. It really is like about, if the art resonates with you, if you resonate with the idea of privacy, if if you just want to be a part of a collection, if you want to try out your first secret NFT, like this would be a great way to join some of the OG members of that community. So
Ranger, how would you describe like the community in this case? So it seems like you know, we've got to acquire an Anon's NFT, and then we get, you know, access to this chat. How would you describe this community that you guys have built? Are you guys pretty active? Like, is there like some inner, I don't know, help there where everyone just knows each other? There's like, you guys are like friends or support buddies. So tell me more about this community.
Yeah. So the community right now is like super secret focused. So like the founder of Secret Labs, Guy, is in there. Tor. You know, there was a joke that the Anon chat was the governance chat for a while, because it was basically like a lot of validators and whales and heavy hitters in there, to the point where I think people are making a conscientious decision to like kind of have more discussions outside of chat. We were called Versailles. So it's just very like funny. But yeah, the community, like I mentioned, it's like right now there's only a few hundred of us. So like you mentioned, like a support group, it's like there's people that have been in that chat who have gotten jobs just by like talking in there, like gone full-time Web3.
Right.
You know, people say like, oh, Anon changed my life. Like now I have a full-time crypto job. We have like people from, there's a lot of Terra people also in the chat. Like I think the developer relations person, Chauncey, who runs Angel Protocol.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Chauncey from Angel Protocol, guys.
Yeah.
He's also amazing, and sorry to bring him in there in the middle of your conversation, but yeah, he's running charity in crypto, and I mean, essentially, I'd like for him to come on board too and share more. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome how you guys are like, you know, working together. I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think a lot of people know that when you buy into a community through an NFT, you receive this community, you receive help. People are still there, right? Like there's people that are always going to be there day one, that are just secret fans, you know, and that's the community that you create. So it's cool, and there's opportunities everywhere. So to anyone listening, to anyone that maybe is a holder of a secret Anon NFT and didn't know that, now you know.
Yeah, I mentioned that I thought utility is a dirty word. You know, I think that there's a push right now to turn NFTs into securities. Like they basically want to take away the NFT non-fungible part and turn it into like okay, how do I get dividends from this and all this stuff. It's like, okay, well then you should probably stay in like crypto tokens. Like if you're looking for APRs and yields and stuff. To me, it's like NFTs are the expression of the culture of blockchain, right? So like so what does that really mean is like if you appreciate like a cryptocurrency and then you join their premier NFT collection, you're likely to get deeper into that cryptocurrency like through the community. It's like the NFTs are
it's that or get wrecked. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
you do get wrecked, right? Like, again, sorry. There's people that don't know about NFTs. Maybe this is a great video for them to watch, and yeah, you should also be careful. Not everyone is as nice as Ranger. There is also precautions that you got to take. In this case, where you're getting some info from a prestigious, if not the most prestigious NFT on. So yeah, thank you, Ranger.
Yeah, no problem. It was awesome coming on.
Well, thank you so much. Next, we're going to bring up Lex from the Strange Clan. Now, we've had Strange Clan come up before. We've had a dedicated stream with them. But, it's been a couple of months now. And, you guys have launched your Town 2 collection that we also did a giveaway for in the past.
Yep.
And that was recent, right? Yeah. So, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's give our audience a follow-up update about what the Strange Clan has been up to.
Yeah, goodness, it's been a lot. So there's a lot of cool production stuff.
And you've lost a beard in the meantime.
Yeah, it comes and it goes. I might find it again one of these days, but it's seasonal, definitely seasonal. There's been a lot. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff we're working on the production side. We're working with the prologue and the chapter 1 game is kind of the 3D game. Right now, there's a lot that's happening to push for the kind of a demo of the game. I believe Punzi or someone can probably correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I believe the timeline for that is it's either end of this year or Q1. We're gonna have a demo for the chapter 1 experience, so people able to get kind of a taste of what the game is supposed to be like, the different mechanics that go into it, but all kind of packed into one little experience. And then we also have the prologue, which is coming up, which I think is Q2 of next year. And just there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we dropped Town 2, and there's been a lot going on there. I mean, I'm really excited about some of the stuff right now. If you jump into the Discord, you'll hear about there's some cool stuff coming up with what we're doing with Town 2. They're all in the marketplace, but there's still some available for mint. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff. There may or may not be a big announcement dropping tomorrow. In terms of, so we've done, a lot of interaction with the community in the Discord. But this will be one of the first areas where you'll get to see NFT holders specifically getting to engage with the collection while we have the marketplace live. And we're going to create some cool interaction between the community and what's going on with the mint. So there's some fun stuff happening there. We're trying to keep the community engaged and just keep some storytelling going, keep people involved in the process. People who have been in the Discord and specifically in the Genesis holders channel. So people who own one of the NFTs from the Passage Marketplace and they have, they're in the Strange Clan Discord. We've been dropping a ton of cool concepts from the game. Yeah. We dropped a cool promo just before Town 2 launched, showing 3D world that we're building, some of the 3D characters, and being able to kind of, again, we want to give people a taste of where this is going. Probably the next big things that are coming up, in addition to some of the events around the mint that'll happen this week, next week, some cool stuff. There's also the egg drop that's coming up. We've got a ton of
the egg drop
behind the scenes stuff happening for egg drop. Yeah. There's
so much going on, Lex. We can slow down and talk about one thing in depth, but you're just throwing it out there, man, and it's amazing. It's amazing because that speaks about someone who's working. speaks about someone who's trying, really hard to deliver. How long have you guys been building this for now?
I mean, oddly enough, not that long. And Passage we've been building as a platform for a couple of years now. It's been close to 3 years. But Strange Clan, I mean, a year ago today, it was probably like super early in terms of like just a twinkle in my eye going to Nick Operator, our creative director, and being like, hey, we need to turn this concept into a collection. And so, I mean, we've only been working on Strange Clan for about like maybe 12 months when you're talking like early concepts like the art. And then we had the first mint in October. So like, I don't know. I'm super open to seeing people's timelines here and seeing the Discord threads and when things launched.
I'll save you time, dude. They want it tomorrow. They want
it. Oh
no.
This. My point is that I think Strange Clan was the first Cosmos collection. Okay, I can't totally speak for Stash because Stash launched very close to when we launched the Strange Clan collection, right? But when we first launched Town 1, we were so early. Juno didn't exist when we started getting things ready for the launch. When we were preparing like the minting and all of that, Juno wasn't the thing. So we actually had to move all of the NFTs onto the Juno chain after the fact, which is why we didn't have like an open marketplace for trading until like several months after. So I think like January, February, we launched the marketplace. But yeah, so, Strange Clan the reason it's important that it was early is because there was so much hustle that went into that. There's so many things that like we didn't have all the awesome tools that people have today if they want to go launch a collection on Stargaze, right? And it's so funny because we're talking.
You guys have to build that from scratch then, or?
Yeah, I mean, we built the whole Passage marketplace from scratch, and I mean, it's bare bones right now in terms of you can go and buy and trade and list and transfer NFTs all on Juno's blockchain. We'll be incorporating features as the Passage blockchain comes out, which Lord willing will be launching next month. That's not official, but we're really close on that. We have like just shy of what's that?
It's fast.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It's if you've been in the Discord, it's been a long time coming. There was just a huge process of like we've had the chain ready for months. We've had almost 100 validators ready to go for months.
Yeah.
And
the yacht community is pretty big.
Oh yeah. We've just been working on. I mean, it's been annoying. It's been the paperwork, right? That's been the big part of what's been going on behind the scenes. But we got a ton of incredible contributors locked in terms of people who are who took part in the token launch, from validators and infrastructure to people who are part of the sale. And it's been really good. We've had just incredible support all along the way. Obviously, our community is incredible in terms of just like really carrying a lot of weight and informing people, educating. You go in the community and there's 5 people ready to answer questions and stuff. So
yeah,
it's been good.
I've been in the Discord. I've hung around and everyone's like, "Yup."
Yeah, that is what they say.
Those are your reply, guys. Yup.
Yep. I mean, so in terms of timeline, it is like we've got some cool mint events going. Egg drop, item drop, and then probably the next big thing. I mean, we got a couple things lined up. There's some big Passage events for like the ecosystem as a whole. We've got our hip hop martial arts event with RZA from Wu-Tang Clan and some just incredible performers live in Passage. But then also for Strange Clan, Prologue and the demo are kind of the big things coming up. Being able to get people involved in the story with a complete game. Prologue is going to be the big thing after kind of some of these events over the summer with egg and item drop and stuff like that.
By the way, to those who are listening and don't understand what these basic concepts are, please go watch our first episode that is on my YouTube channel. We cover all of that except egg drop. That's new. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, totally. The egg drop event is going to be a blasty blast. Basically, we're setting up. We have a lot of the art ready to go. We're finalizing some smart contracts for the marketplace where people are going to be able to. Everybody who's holding a Genesis NFT it's Town 1 and Town 2, is going to get an egg airdropped to their wallet. And then the idea is there's going to be different things that could hatch. Like most of them will be companions, and there's different rarities of companions that'll follow you around and like collect items for you and stuff.
That's
You mean
awesome.
like I get a Yoshi, basically?
Yeah, like a Yoshi. Yep, eating those like red juicy thing. I don't even know what those things were. They're not peaches or apples, but it's something.
Apples, I think apples.
I mean, who knows? It's like on a bush.
Yeah,
But
it was weird.
like a Yoshi, collecting the little berry things, and then but then it'll also be mounts. But that's going to be really rare. And so the cool thing about this is the whole idea is in order to start hatching your egg, you're going to have to lock up your egg. So everyone's going to get dropped those, and there'll be different types of eggs that you'll see, but people won't know exactly what's going to come out of them. And each egg has is going to birth a different kind of mount or companion. But the way to get the higher tiers, right? So like your green egg, they're cooler than that. Actually, I'll find a on Twitter somewhere. There's a egg drop. Somebody find the link and drop it in chat or something for the egg drop video. We get some previews of the egg designs, and they're beautiful. Our creative team is just, but you have to lock a character up with the egg to start the hatching, right? And basically it's just a waiting game, right? Like it's kind of last man standing. Whoever unlocks first, there's going to be like a minimum you have to stake it, right? And then you can unstake it as soon as that minimum is met. But the first people to unstake have the lowest chance of getting the rares, like the mounts and the rare companions. So basically, the longer you hold it, the more chance you have of getting one of the rarer ones. So it's kind of ironically like a game of chicken.
And that, everyone, is how you tokenize patience.
Yep. Right. Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
so at what point is there a sort of run on unlocks? Because if, let's say everyone decides to hold until last minute, somebody finally does mint after a certain time threshold, and then boom, they get like a legendary egg, and boom, that's like one less egg in the inventory of finite eggs. I imagine it's finite, right?
Yeah. I mean, but everyone's going to get an egg. So everyone who's holding one of the Genesis NFTs will get an egg. And so everyone's egg will hatch, right? Like they're going to get something. It's just they have a better chance of getting the rare ones if they hold longer.
Right.
And that's the thing is like, there really is no, I mean, maybe we have to like build that in at some point. Like, is there a cap to where this has to stop? Because ultimately people could just keep holding.
Right.
And there's still a chance wherever you are in the chain to get a rare. It's just the longer you hold, the better that chance is. So I imagine there's going to be some people who straight up just hold their eggs until the full game is released, right? Because that's primarily where people will get utility, the most utility out of the companions. There'll probably be stuff we build in for the future seasons of the prologue. Prologue starts with season 1, but we'll be launching, new quests, new features, and things like that over time. And so I imagine the mounts and companions can have utility in there somewhere, but you're gonna get the most utility out of it in the full 3D game for chapter 1. So we'll have people who just hold out, and it's a fun social experiment, if nothing else, too.
Well, in terms of utility and rarity, is there any correlation, or is it, the fact that it's rare doesn't mean it has greater, doesn't have like attributes to make it a faster, like fruit farmer or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Strange Clan. In general, we kind of have tried to stay away from like rarity is meant to be speculative. It's meant to be fun. I mean, you could say that the mounts, because they're more rare, like they do have more utility, but if the rare ones are the ones that sell for more money on the marketplace, you don't want people to be able to just spend more money and be more powerful in game.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah.
Right. So spending money should be all about convenience, right? So like having a mount or having a rare mount, right, is probably going to be other mounts that come out at different points in time that just aren't as rare, as unique as the egg drops. Those ones will all be totally unique from any other things people might discover in game. So the idea is that we want people to be able to spend money on things that are fun, right? Speculating on something that might be rare and important to the community, or paying for something that gives them convenience, not paying for like a competitive advantage in the game. So it's a tough balance there, and it's going to be a lot of like experimenting with the community. The hardest thing for what we're building is that there's so few good examples this having been done, right? I mean, you could list the number of good Web3 games without lifting a finger. There aren't any.
Right.
And
I
so
was just trying to think of one.
Yep. And and that's okay. Like, think about like, when did we really start hearing about NFTs? When did that hype start to build? And I mean, even if you go as far back as like 2017, I mean, okay, 5 years, right? 5 years, but that's when it would. I mean, that would have been really, really early, and so few people have had a chance. I mean, the development cycle for a AAA game is 3 to 5 years, right? And so you can build fun mobile games in a much more condensed time span. Something like Axes.
Next, would you say you're building a 3A game, or what's like, I guess, the category?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that is our intent for Strange Clan. Is that, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's an art of passion. Where a lot of it's experimental in terms of like, you know, it's very cost prohibitive to build a game like that. I mean, that's part of why we're really excited about the success that Strange Clan has had, is the opportunities around the ecosystem and kind of some of the unique partnerships that have come up, because we need a lot of momentum to be able to build something like what Strange Clan promises to be. And it makes sense why a lot of smaller teams aren't reaching for something like that, because it is really difficult for teams that haven't already been building in that space. You got to be really mindful of resources and all sorts of things.
I have a question. So had it not been for Web3, maybe growing up, did you think of building something like this one day? And then second question, if it wasn't for Web3, do you think this would exist, as in like the game that you're constructing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think what was really essential to Strange Clan and the wild community that we have is that kind of, I wouldn't even chalk it up to just Web3. It was Web3 and the Cosmos community specifically, because of all the Web3 communities, the power of those communities is people who really value ownership, people who are forward thinking, who are on the frontier and are looking to invest, not necessarily strictly a financial sense, but they're pushing toward the future, right? They are willing to put themselves out there for something that isn't real yet. And those are really dedicated people. If you can get those people on the same wavelength for a vision, there's a lot that they can do. And compound that with just really, I think, the higher floor of the Cosmos community when it just comes to like the thought level of our consumers in Cosmos. We have people who are, I think, at a base level, more educated and more just more informed in terms of people come into Cosmos very intentionally. You can't accidentally end up here. So a lot of the people who end up here are informed or thoughtful about having been here. So we have a really incredible community just at a base level. So I think both of those factors were essential. It was definitely a big, I would say, you know, by the grace of God in terms of like the timing of it, right? Because it's just wild, like that these confluence of things would have lined up. The technology we were building, the creative team that we were building, and it really did kind of culminate at exactly the right time where, you know, Nick Obrigator, our creative director, had only come on a few months before we started the project, right? Like, it's weird in terms of the timing and how these things work together. I think it was just wildly providential. Certainly, you know, you can call it luck if you want to, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't us 5 years down the road being like, this is what we're going to do. Like, and, you know, I've been learning quickly about this ecosystem. And as I've understood it more, I caught on to it very quickly, right? Like it was, I understood the importance of digital ownership, but I mean, I've only been in crypto since like late 2020. So like have not actually been deep in this, right? I'm not like one of the old school guys. So, you know, again, it is really providential timing. And I would say I've adapted. I've always been a storyteller. So just kind of to answer your question about like, where did this come from? And we've worked on a lot of tech-heavy storytelling, right? Like 3D, CGI, virtual spaces, WebGL, like being able to take the creative and technology and combine them into a human experience of some kind. That's really where Passage came from. So, you know, that drive came out of my desire to tell stories and the unique skill set our team developed and that I got into in the whole 3D rendering space. So coming out of like open source tools.
Did you go to school for this, or is just something you picked up out of passion?
I went to school for creative writing and I never graduated. So I'm a community college dropout and a real college dropout. I left school with no degree to get married, and it was a journey. I learned a ton of cool stuff in school. I coached like cheer and gymnastics and weighted tables, and like, it was a lot of good experiences. I learned from I had a professor who was a published author, and just like was able to like kind of give us a lot of great experiences. But I don't know. I don't have a ton of faith in our educational system.
And one more small question. So how long have you been in the space for, as just in general?
In Web3 or in kind of like the broader technology design space?
Yeah, Web3 specifically.
I mean, personally, only since like 2020, like late 2020, maybe like October is when I started getting into things.
Again, so you got here with everything and you started building just right away, because not everyone gets here and builds right away. People stop by, they hang out, almost they learn new things.
Almost immediately, like I latched onto. I got into the Cosmos ecosystem through Akash. Immediately started, casually flirting with Greg Osuri on Twitter, trying to get his attention. Like, this guy's building cool things. I need to be in front of that dude. And like would just like comment on his stuff, like trying to like, hey, like I need to like get a conversation with this guy because he's building something really cool. I don't know what, like he just always seemed like a smart, like thoughtful dude building something that I could understand as like an app builder, because we were building technologies, we weren't building Web3 technology. So Akash was a really good like mental bridge for me to see like how we can have the kind of applications we're building, like Passage, on decentralized infrastructure like Akash. So that was my bridge. And yeah, so very, very quickly I was like seeing the opportunity, trying to like get in good with all the cool people in Cosmos. And then we started building. And I was like, what is a good entry point for this, right? Like if we're going to adopt this technology, where should we start? And we try to lean on our strengths in terms of creative, storytelling focused project like Strange Clan, and then figuring out how this connected to the broader Passage ecosystem.
I'm really interested in your app chain because this is news to me. And with the app chain means staking tokens, right? So would that mean that there could be a drop to your original, Town 1 NFT holders or something like that?
There are absolutely tokens that are going to people who, I mean, we would say basically they're the ones who were the original participants in the Passage ecosystem, right? Strange Clan is the first part of the Passage ecosystem. And so they're the ones who are getting kind of the first fruits of this ecosystem, which is the Passage token. But there's a bunch of things that are going to connect to the Passage token real fast in terms of like, marketplace fees and volume are going to be going to support security of the network through stakers and those types of rewards. Like there's some really cool systems that we're putting in place and really giving people the opportunity to build their worlds with assets in the marketplace. Like imagine like being able to take all of the Strange Clan characters and structures, pardon the background noise. Just my children screaming, that's all.
They're bad kids too.
Yeah, the bad kids in IRL.
They're loud kids. They're good kids, but they're loud kids. That's how I see myself. I'm just a loud person. That's all. Just a little boisterous. But basically, being able to take like the buildings from Strange Clan or the characters from Strange Clan and constructing a new world using Passage, right, with kind of a drag and drop system, and there would be little fees to use those, kind of like a stock image library, right? And those fees go towards the people who own the NFTs, right? So you might buy a building or something, not because like you want it, but because like, oh, people are going to want this one. I need to own this so I can get fees off of that as people are using it to build their little world, a community space, an event space, an office space, whatever. Or like, and so it really becomes a unique opportunity for like a creator marketplace, right? It's an opportunity for 3D artists to come in and create something that can be used in a practical way, but also for people to speculate and be like, yeah, I want to own this because I can see people using this as they're creating stuff. So the Passage token comes in a lot there because all of that volume is going to go towards sustaining the network, right? We're taking a portion of all of the marketplace fees and putting that towards securing the network and creating a good cycle.
Mm-hmm. So, right, I would love to have you back on the podcast to talk like explicitly about the app chain because I'm interested in what actually goes on the chain. and what the tokenomics looks like and how that folds into NFTs in greater depth later. Although, this is just a teaser showcase. So there's going to be a lot more content that we could create in the future. But for now, thank you so much, Lex. We have one final project coming on, and that's Stargazers NFT. Yup, thank you so much.
Peace.
This is great. Super exciting stuff. All right, so Stargazers were. Hi.
Right. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
So, yeah, you guys are another cult favorite, I would say, because just everyone working on Osmosis was just like super crazy about your Twitter banner images. So this is the banner image that I have on my Twitter profile right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't actually own this,
or something like that.
I just, timeshare it with Dan Lynch. He owns it. So, but yeah, this stuff is super cool. I also love your other Star Wars themed banners as well. So, if you want to screen share and just demo more of your JPEGs, that's great. But yeah, do you want to just give a high level overview about this project?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me grab the screen share real quick, and I'll walk through Stargazers and who we are and what we've done.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the unfortunate thing about Stargate and good thing for Stargaze Zone is that there's a lot of name collisions with people iterating on different permutations of Stargaze, Stargazers, whatever. So I actually was confused between Stargaze Punks and Stargazers NFTs. I thought you guys might have been the same team, but
Yeah, absolutely. There's only so much you can do within Cosmos and space, but we ended up calling ourselves Stargazers. And originally, what we wanted to do, because there's a lot of infighting at that time on Twitter between different projects, founders, and me being such a big Cosmos fan, I wanted to do something to bring the community together. And then we started thinking, right, everyone's releasing profile pictures. That was a really saturated market. And then at the same time, I started thinking about why people wanted profile pictures. They usually would use something that represented either how they look, how they feel, or who they want to be. And then I noticed if you go on Twitter, right, there's three main spots to really curate your profile. It's your profile picture, your pinned tweet, and then your banner. So that was how we decided on doing the banner, because we felt we had really good art. And then our artist, it gave him more flexibility, because the canvas for a banner is way bigger than a PFP. So that's why we really focused on the banners, and we came up with a lot of different versions of traits. And we anchored on Cosmos, of course, and all the different projects. I would go on Map of Zones and think about which projects should have more logos, which projects should be rarer. And we didn't want to leave any of the smaller projects out either at the time. So we made the smaller projects even more rare. And then we made the bigger projects more available because we wanted people to represent their favorite Cosmos projects. And that was how we came up with the idea.
Cool. That's interesting. Can you show us some more of your banners? Because this is, I actually have seen a few banner PFP projects, but not so much that stands out like this, because this was just, there was just such excitement around these banner pics. And this, the way I found out about it was just people in the Osmosis channels were just talking about it, and they were just showing off their Osmosis banners, and I saw it and I was like, I need to steal this from you, Dan. So
yeah, it was really interesting. Initially, when we started releasing some of the traits, we kept the rare ones, like the ones here, these one of ones, hidden. But we share a lot more.
Can you just zoom in on individual ones?
Yeah, let me open some of these up actually.
Yeah, and then maybe we could just rotate through each of them because they're individually all very beautiful and each has a unique concept that you could just talk about.
Yeah, let me open up a couple more and then scroll through here.
How big is your collection?
Our collection's 5,000 NFT banners.
And is this another generative art project?
Yeah, this was all generative. We really played with the traits because we wanted these to be unique, but also tell a story. And that was part of the launch was we wanted people to write a story about their banner, focus on the lore. And we got a lot of interesting stories, right? For example, this one, right? You can see there's a nuke in here. There's an ancient tree here, right? It's an ice world. So it'd be really easy for someone to tell a story around what's going on in this image. And you'll notice there's a Juno flag, right? So for people that want to represent Juno, this may be a flag or a banner that they want to use on their Twitter. If we jump to another one, this one's a little bit similar, but it's the crystal world. And then the ship is different. And then the flag here is Stargaze. We wanted enough variety where that each banner could look really unique. At the same time, it brings together different elements and brings together the Cosmos, which is our messaging. And then once we started getting feedback on these banners, we started to notice a trend. People just really wanted to be excited about Cosmos, right? And that's when I started tweeting at the co-founders of some of these projects. And then they started tweeting back, and then they started using our banners. And then from there, it just kind of took off, right? We really just wanted to have cool art that represented the Cosmos.
Shout out to the founders and co-founders who were retweeting you when you were starting. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't be where we are without them. So it's greatly appreciated.
Oh, that's the Star Wars one you were talking about? That's cool. Oh, that's super cool. Wow.
Yeah. This one was super rare because it's a one of one, but this one was a homage. And if we go look at the traits, you can see this is Lark's father for the cosmonaut, not Battler, Doom Moon. So we wanted to keep it fun, make a homage.
Who's Lark and who's not Battler? So there's obviously a story behind this, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to be funny with it because like everyone's like, okay, Star Wars, and it's like we don't want to be that direct. So instead of Luke, we called him Lark, etc.
But is there a character somewhere in here who's Lark? Right there. Is that Lark?
Yeah, that's Lark.
With
Lark's father, actually.
Lark's father. Does Lark and Lark's father show up in any other banner?
Lark shows up in other banners, yeah. Not together though.
Okay. So there's also
if you guys have a baby Yoda, because I got some gear right here.
I don't think we had a Yoda one, but we did have the robots, 3CPO and the other one, R2D2 somewhere.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Any other movies?
Yeah, there's quite a few. If you go back to the main page, you can see here. This one's familiar with the trash world and the little robot.
Is that Wall-E?
Yeah.
Oh, that one is cool.
Yeah, so this was a one of one that was minted. We had this is a fan favorite here for those that love Rick and Morty. So this one was a one of one. You also notice that some of these have an egg field. So we actually built in hidden puzzles in the metadata. And there's 3 one of ones that we were giving away. Only 2 of them have been solved. The third one is excessively difficult to figure out. So for those that want to try to get that free one of one banner, there's some message hidden in the metadata along with a puzzle, and you have to decode it. So if you can figure it out, you'll be able to get that final one of one piece that we have.
Are you able to show that piece?
Should we grab it and try to hatch the
Yeah,
code?
so the 3 are here. So it's this first one, the second one, and then this fourth one are the 3 1-of-1s from the puzzle prizes. I think this 5,000 one is the one that hasn't been given away yet. So again, feel free to search through the metadata and find the secrets that we've hidden.
That's awesome. That is that's creative. That's cool. It's unique. It's adventurous. Good job. It's awesome. Amazing.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And then just to give some more context here, originally that was our first Federation release for the first 5,000 banners. We wanted to focus on the core Cosmos projects. We do have thoughts on a second project, depending on what types of new projects come out and what people are interested in, because we want to be inclusive of newer projects as well. So we're still thinking through that, as well as the artwork. But we did launch our Cosmonauts. So as part of the process for people that owned banners, we initially airdropped them a challenge coin, and that was for unique wallets. And then anyone that held a challenge coin received a rocket. And then anyone that held a banner received rocket fuel. And there's 3 types of rocket fuels, but depending on the combination that you burn between the rocket and the fuel, you would unlock one of these Cosmonauts here. So that's part of our PFP collection that's still ongoing. And you're actually able to mint the rockets and the fuel now. And then you can go on our website, and we have a launch process. So I'll give a quick walkthrough here. So once you mint your rocket, and then once you mint the fuel, here's the example of the fuel. You would go to our website, and then this is our launch pad. So you would connect Kepler. It's asking for basic permissions. Then you would take the ID of the rocket and ID of the fuel, and then add it into this launch pad. And then from there, you would be able to essentially burn these 2 NFTs to unlock your own Cosmonaut or profile picture. Right, so you can see the token IDs there for both 87. So I'll fill that in. I go ahead and approve that first transaction. And it's just checking to see if I own that rocket or not, and it's in my Kepler. Once that's approved, then I can go ahead and do the same thing for the fuel. And then once that's approved, you'll then be able to burn both the rocket and the fuel. And we wanted this to be fun. It was a reward for early holders and minters. But you'll see here, once we go ahead and burn the rocket and the fuel, it'll come out with a different Cosmonaut depending on the fuel you burned. And we had 3 different classes. There's humans, cephalopods, and then demons. Demons by far were the most minted so far. But everyone that we talked to really liked this process. They thought it was fun utility. And then you can see here, this was the end result. This Cosmonaut was minted, and then it would appear in your wallet. So I thought it was a really fun way to just celebrate and reward our holders.
Yeah. Now I see where those came from. I've been seeing them, and I'm like, what collection is this? What collection is this? And now we know. That's so cool. And I like how you can still mint rocket fuel and rockets, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go on our website, the links are here. You'll be able to mint a rocket. You'll be able to mint the fuel as well. And then again, if you go to our website, there's a launch pad here at the top. And then you'll be able to add your Kepler and then burn those 2 NFTs to get your profile picture.
Does it matter what kind of rocket you have, or is it only contingent on the rocket fuel?
Yeah, originally we wanted to have more variations of rockets, but with the way Stargaze is constructed now and the complexity that we're aiming for, we wanted 10 different permutations. We ended up going with 3 because we had to simplify it, just because it was a hard problem to solve. But yeah, that was the original idea, was to have multiple rockets and multiple fuels.
Okay. So it only matters what type of fuel you have
Right.
that dictates what species of cosmonaut you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood. Okay. Well, this is very cool. Thank you so much. do you have any last comments or words before we log off, since we've been doing a pretty long show now?
Yeah, I just want to thank the Stargazers community. We have really passionate people that are in our Discord that have really enjoyed the process so far and believed in us. We originally just wanted to launch similar to Bad Kids with really cool art and just build a kick-ass community. And then once we saw how empowered people felt and how much they really liked the art, we wanted to reward them, which is why we built this burning process. We airdropped the rockets, the fuel, and then the PFPs. So just thank you to everybody and Stargazers and Cosmos overall.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who's been listening with us up until now. There's been some great alpha that was dropped. So, and we'll see you in the next one. And thank you, Gene, for coming on. He'll be hosting some of these episodes by himself in the future.
Whoops.
Whoops.
All right.
All right.
Have a good
Bye.
Thanks for having us.